My dear students, how are you? Hope you all are doing well. How is the life going on? Missing something, right? But don't worry, my dear students. Everything will become brighter one day. But we have to wait for that day. That day, everything will become brighter than the past. Of course it will come. Of course it will come. But don't leave that positivity within you. Dear students, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss a lesson from our literature book. Lesson 3, The Little Girl. When you are a small child, you didn't know why your parents were being strict with you. But when you grow older, you realized why they were being strict with you. So when we realize this, then we also realize that our parents love us. Now you understand the reasons for some of their actions that used to upset you earlier. And as you will grow older and older, you will realize that in the past, whatever acts your parents did were for your betterment, and in fact, they really love you. This story about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. Here in the story, The Little Girl, the writer narrates the relationship between children and their parents. This short story is written by Katherine Mansfield. Katherine Mansfield was New Zealand's most famous author. She was born on 14th October 1888 and died on 9th January 1923. She was a short story writer and a poet. Her notable works are Miss Brill, The Garden Party and Other Stories, In a German Pension, Bliss and Other Stories, The Dove's Nest and Other Stories. Dear students, let's go through the lesson. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." Little girl means Kezia, the important character in the story, and he means her father. So the opening line of the story shows the fear that Kezia has for her father. She feared her father. To Kezia, her father was a figure to be feared and avoided. She feared her father and she avoided her father. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." Every morning before going to work, her father went to Kezia's room and he would give her a casual kiss. He comes to her room, he gives her a casual kiss, and she responded with "Goodbye, father." Father comes to her room, gives her a casual kiss, and she replies, "Goodbye, father." When her father leaves for work, she feels relaxed. She becomes happy. And there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. Carriage means carriages like horse carts were the means of transport used in olden times. Her father would go in a carriage and Kezia became very happy. When her father leaves her home, Kezia feels a glad sense of relief. She would hear the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. When the carriage was going away from home and he was leaving home and the sound became fainter and fainter, she could hear the sound of the carriage fainter and fainter down the long road. That means the sound was reduced, then Kezia would become very happy. There was a glad sense of relief in her mind. The little girl's father returns home in the evening. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there. And bring me my slippers." Kezia's father would return in the evening. In the evenings, when Kezia's father would return home, she would hear his loud voice. She would hear his loud voice. She feared his loud voice. And this loud voice made her afraid of him. The little girl listens to her father's loud voice. He would say like this, "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there. And bring me my slippers." Her father would order to serve the tea to him in the drawing room. He would order, "Bring my tea into the drawing room." Then he asks about his papers. "Hasn't the paper come yet?" He would ask his mother to go and see if the paper was there outside. Then he would ask her to get him his slippers also. Kezia would listen to this loud voice, her father's loud voice. He speaks very loudly, and that sound made her afraid of him. "Kezia," mother would call to her, "if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots." Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. Kezia's mother would call her, "Kezia, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots." Little girl's mother would say if she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her command. "Come down and take off your father's boots." "Kezia, you come down and take off your father's boots." Then Kezia would come down the stairs quietly and unwillingly. The girl would slip down the stairs. She would come down, but slowly, and she would reach the hall and push open the drawing room door. She did not want to face her father. She feared him. So she would come unwillingly and slowly and opens the drawing room door. Kezia reaches near her father. By that time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the girl. Kezia reaches the room. Father is sitting there. He is wearing his spectacles and he is looking at Kezia over the spectacles. He is wearing his spectacles and he looks at Kezia over the spectacles. And the way he looks at her makes her terrified. When the father looks at her, the girl gets terrified. "Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today?" Then father would ask. Kezia was reluctant in her work. She was moving very slowly. So her father would tell her to hurry up. "Well, Kezia, hurry up." And he would ask her to remove his boots and keep them out of the room. "Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside." And then he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day. "Have you been a good girl today?" He would ask. "I don't know, father." "You don't know? If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor." Kezia could not reply to her father's question. "Have you been a good girl today?" Kezia cannot reply properly. She would stammer, I don't know, father. She stammers because she was not confident in the presence of her father. She feels fear. Then father would copy her. Father would imitate her. Father copies her words. You don't know. If you stutter like this, mother will have to take you to the doctor. He says to her that if she stuttered like that, then her mother would have to take her to a doctor for a checkup. If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. But Kezia never stutters. Kezia stammers before her father only. Kezia stammers in the presence of her father only. She never stuttered with other people. She stuttered with her father only with her father, because she lacks her confidence in the presence of her father. The writer tells us that Kezia never stammered while she spoke to other people. It was only when she talks to her father that she lacked confidence, and that is why she tried very hard to speak properly. In the presence of her father, she tries very hard to speak. She could not speak properly. Her father would not stop with this. He would continue, What is the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Kezia's father looks at her. He feels something wrong with her because a child is stammering. And he asks her, What is the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Wretched means miserable, distressed, unhappy. He asked her why she is so unhappy. And then he tells to his mother, Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. On the brink of suicide means about to commit suicide. He tells his mother that she should teach Kezia to behave in a better way, and she should not appear as if she is so unhappy and that she is about to end her life. Mother, you should teach her how to behave properly. Kezia seems to be unhappy with her life. It looks like she is about to end her life. So, mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Then he asks her to take the teacup back to the table. Students, today we are concluding here. I think you got an idea about the content of the lesson. If you have any doubt, you can clarify it with me. Complete the given homework and send it in the group. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.